been a fun first half of the season for the Jaguars. Aside of the slow start, it's kind of been smooth sailing, right? Jaguars are 6-2, but while 6-2 is fun, still a lot of season left to be played. Christian Kirk knows a thing or two about that because he lived it while he was in Arizona. 2021, he was with the Cardinals. Started the year 9-3, then the bye week came, and they won 2 games the rest of the way, lost in the wild card round. 6-2 is great. Still a lot of football left to be played. Don't want to be like the 2021 Cardinals. At this point, the Jaguars are among the top teams in the AFC. So instead of trying to figure out how the Jaguars can get that #1 overall draft pick, we're trying to figure out how the Jaguars can get a #1 seed in the playoffs. A lot more fun, and we definitely don't want to go back the other direction, just like this little guy didn't want to leave the football field earlier this week. Here's a look at the Jaguars' schedule the rest of the way. If you ask me, this second half of the schedule that the Jaguars have, much tougher task than what the Jaguars had in the first go-around. And if the goal is to get that #1 seed, that's easier said than done. The Chiefs have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way. Maybe 1 or 2 losses that we can kind of pencil in for them. And since they beat the Jaguars early in the year, that means they have the tiebreaker. So the Jaguars pretty much have to be considerably better than them. When we look at the schedule, Jaguars have it either one way or the other. It's either a really easy game or a really hard game. And just for the sake of conversation, let's say the Jaguars lose those 3 really hard games they have on the schedule. 3 really hard ones: Cincinnati, Baltimore, San Francisco down here. Those are the 3 really hard ones. All 3 of those games are at home in the bank, so you can definitely make a difference if you go out and support the team. 2 of those games are primetime games, and Doug Peterson does have a really good history in primetime games. So the Jaguars could 100% win those football games. But 3 losses in 9 games, that's pretty reasonable. I'd take that. Jaguars would be 12-5. That's a pretty good record. That's a better record than I predicted the Jaguars to have going into the season. 12 wins would be enough to put them kind of in that conversation for the #2 seed. Now, keep in mind that doesn't come with a bye week anymore, but it would come with the possibility of 2 home playoff games, maybe a third if the #1 seed went down, which is definitely something worth cheering about, I'd say. Look, a lot of things can happen between now and then. I don't have to tell you how important this guy is, Trevor Lawrence, for the rest of the way. But the Jaguars do have 2 key players that I kind of want to point out. On offense, getting Zay Jones back is definitely a big deal. Zay has made some big catches for the Jaguars in big moments and probably doesn't get enough credit for what he does on this offense. Part of his job is to open up space for other players on the offense so they can go out and do their thing. And that's big because the Jaguars, if they're going to get that offense clicking on all cylinders, they're going to need him out on the field to help them do it. On defense, this is a really easy one. 44, Trayvon Walker. Look, Josh Allen has been doing his thing, holding down the pass rush almost single-handedly. Trayvon's been playing good football, and I said it before the year, and I'll say it again. If the Jaguars can have Trayvon and Josh with double-digit sacks, they have a real chance to be packing those bags and contenders to go to Vegas. Trayvon already has the same amount of sacks that he had all of last season as a rookie. Now it's time for him to crank it up another notch, have a big finish to the year. That'd be huge for the Jaguars and help to silence some of those Aiden Hutchinson fans we have out there. And I'm definitely talking to some of you at home.